to the MLS rules and regs in terms of clear cooperation. So now, clear cooperation, what does that mean? I'm going to show you. Let's go and share my screen. This is everybody's favorite part of the day. All right, so there has been an update to both there's been an update to the listing agreement. That's been handled. Obviously, we went over that a couple of times ad nauseum. If you guys want to revisit that as well, so that's the listing agreement. That's Form 220. We can go line by line. Again, really the only change to the actual listing agreement has been that line item for surveillance and the consent to surveillance. That's really the only change thus far. What has changed very, very recently, effective May 1st, is the MLS Clear Cooperation Policy. Now that's not GGAR, that's not CDAN Joiner, that's NAR has changed the Clear Cooperation Policy. You can see it right here, and what it does, and it states as follows: within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants. Public marketing includes, but is not limited to, flyers displayed in windows, yard signs, digital marketing on public-facing websites, brokerage website displays, IDX VOW. You don't need to worry about what the alphabet soup there is. That's the Internet Data Exchange, and that's virtual office web. Digital communication marketing, that's email blasts, multi-brokerage listing sharing networks, and applications available to the general public. That basically means social media is what that means. You can find it on the end. You can find the actual stat on NAR under the Clear Cooperation Policy. Now, I just read a bunch of gobbledygook, right? What does it actually mean? What it means is if you have a listing agreement, said seller does not want to place the house on MLS or to distribute it publicly. They don't, for whatever reason, if they might be elderly, don't want a million different brokers in there showing it, they don't want photos, it could be something that somebody passed away and the kids are going to sell it, the heirs are going to do that, whatever. It could be some high profile person that doesn't want people in their house. It could be, I mean, the myriad reasons why someone wouldn't want to have a house on the MLS, right? Those are all good things from the seller's perspective because they still have a problem to solve and we want to go solve it. The issue with the MLS Clear Cooperation Policy and why the Clear Cooperation Policy was adopted is because sometimes, perspective, the intention is to double in the deal. The National Association, and they want to double in the deal and not give other agents the opportunity to participate in the sale of said property. They want to have it in the pocket. They want a pocket listing. Pocket listings are bad. Always have been, always will be bad. That's the old school stuff. That's the curbstoner type of real estate transaction. This is clear cooperation, honesty, disclosure, professionalism, right? This is to shy away from people trying to hold a listing in their pocket for a couple of days or weeks or whatever long the period is and try and see if they can just bring a buyer real quick before we even go to market, make themselves look good. This is deleting that. So what really does that look like? So non-MLS listings, what that looks like is it essentially is an office exclusive. If you have a client that wants to do non-MLS, that marketing must only be limited to marketing within the brokerage. That even means you can't tell the person next door that the house is for sale or you violated the Clear Cooperation Policy. The seller can also not say that. What you also must do is you must comply with regular MLS rules. That non-MLS listing still means that you have signed listing documentation. So you have to comply with regular MLS rules. That still means that that listing agreement signed by all parties must be sent to the MLS in 48 hours, just the same way that we do a normal listing. And again, like I just said, the seller may market the property. So the seller can't go tell all their friends that they're non-MLS. I know we can't stop them completely doing that, but just understand that the seller, in a conversation with them, they also can't market the property to the public. A lockbox is allowed. Now, that's a sticky situation for me, just because anybody with e-key access has access to a lockbox. What I would do in that situation would be a confirm before showing if you were to put a lockbox on. Now, I really can't hypothetically see a situation in which a lockbox would be necessary on a non-MLS listing or an office exclusive, unless it was an absentee owner or the house was empty, whatever. I would still have a confirm before showing notification put in on showing time for that non-MLS listing. You can host a realtor open house. That's only within the brokerage. That means anybody, thank goodness, at Seed & Joiner, that means all of our offices within the company network can participate in said realtor open house. Again, you can't have anything that's forward facing. We can only share that information internally because it is an office exclusive listing. So no regular email blasts to all the people, no social media, no nothing, no social media, no digital marketing of any kind, nothing that the public could potentially see. No signage at all. The second, the final little bit here for this, it essentially means if you do have a seller that's in the situation of wanting to go non-MLS, you can just let them know that the new clear cooperation policy guidelines from the National Association of REALTORS stipulate that if that's the way that they want to go, they must understand that there is no digital sharing outside of our office framework. Thank goodness that we have the ability to share listings within our office with over 450 agents, but anything that could be shared in the public could jeopardize the ability to have that property non-MLS. Now, what normally happens, why someone would choose to go non-MLS more often than not is one of a couple of things. Either they've got some repairs to be made. So we're not quite ready. We're gonna sell, but we're gonna do a couple of things before we get the pictures taken, before we do this, before we do that. And then we'll go live in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it might be. That being said, I would sign the original listing agreement for the period of time that's prudent for whatever that reason is to have the property non-MLS, not 6 months, whatever it is, because when you do choose to eventually, 9 out of 10 of these non-MLS listings will choose to then go live, quote unquote, after a period of time. Maybe they're just testing to see if, testing the market, who knows, especially because you can't test the market when you're not even really active. What I would suggest would be to pick a period of time, a deadline, a time frame by which that original listing agreement would then expire, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever that period of time is that's prudent for whatever needs to be done in order to be able to be in a position to take the listing live. Then what you'll do is consult what you see right there, Form 250, which is the conditional release of agreement from the original listing. Scratch the old listing and then make a brand new listing in MLS again. Again, that's just to be above board with everything. So you don't have 2 active listings going at the same time, one non-MLS, one MLS, etc. Form 250, that's in zip forms, it's a conditional release of the original listing agreement. Cancel the first listing that's non-MLS. Go ahead with a new listing agreement signed with all the bells and whistles attached to it. Okay? It's designed to help you, and it's designed to help the seller be as transparent as possible. And that's the reason why this clear cooperation policy was adopted by the National Association of REALTORs. The next bit is the 2020 home selling proposal. This is our new listing presentation, and I'm going to be pretty brief here, but I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of what I hope are useful bits of information here for us. So the 2020 home selling proposal, and I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to show you guys where we find all this information. So you will see right now, I am on the hub. You will see on the left-hand side under listing presentations where my cursor is highlighting here, listing presentations 2020 home marketing right here on the top left-hand corner. Now, you will see the next, once you click on that, you will fly through to one is the home selling proposal tutorial. That will help you walk through the conversation that needs to happen during a home selling proposal. Here in the middle, this link, that folder, home marketing presentation, listing presentation, PowerPoint template. You'll see how that highlights here. Click there, you will be redirected to the PowerPoint template of the home selling proposal. So you guys can get there. If you don't, or if you have any issues, just let me know. But what I will do is attach a copy of the PowerPoint. If you guys already don't have a copy of the PowerPoint, I strongly encourage you to go download it, because this is our new home selling proposal. That's how you get there from the hub. Again, first link. So here you see the highlighted listing presentations. You'll click on the first folder on the top left. That will transplant you to the home marketing presentation. Then you'll click the middle folder, and it'll bring you to the home selling proposal. Back to the show. So what you'll see here is really two key pages of the new home selling proposal. We tried to really distill this down as much as we can to make it as easy to utilize as possible, because, you know, at the end of the day, a home selling proposal, call it a listing presentation, say that you don't want to say listing presentation, whatever it is. In a listing presentation, the whole thing is about efficiency and confidence from your perspective in figuring out how to propose a plan that will solve a seller's problems. If you can't solve the seller's problems, well, then, you know, I can't solve everything. Sometimes you get out commissioned, sometimes you get out marketed, sometimes you get outpriced. We all know what happens when you get outpriced in a listing presentation. The thing sits there for 6 months and they drop it to what you told them for in the first place. They sell it for 20 grand less than you proposed, and then for some reason or another, you're not in the deal, right? What we need to do is provide a consistent, efficient, simple process for everybody to utilize. And so the first set of this is the initial consultation. This is these are two just great slides for you to be able to use. And if you have nothing else other than this, you're ahead of the game as far as any other brokerage in town. And I am being 100% serious. I know what everybody else's listing presentation is. It is not this. This is a clear and concise process by which you can walk the seller through from initial consultation to post-sale follow-up to show them what's going to happen and why. And the second piece of that is the comprehensive marketing plan, because essentially what we're doing, we're not arguing about a listing. We're not trying to pitch, let me list your house. We are telling and explaining and providing value on how we can market and sell a home. The listing process has nothing to do with it. Anybody can put it in MLS. Heck, the seller can put it in MLS if they want to. But that's what starts our, right here, what you're looking at on the screen, that's what starts our wheel. And now I know the formatting is a little bit wonky here because I don't get me wrong, I cut and pasted from a couple of other things. That does not show up that way on the actual presentation. MLS turned into our website, which feeds into your global marketing feed, which leads into your mobile presence, which leads into digital advertising, which nobody else has, which leads into curbside marketing, which is your text strategy, that text upstate to 59559. Open houses, our Find Buyers program, which between our Find Buyers program and Buyer Match within Joiner Base, there is no other company that has the ability to communicate internally that we do. That is an incredible tool to be able to provide and to be able to articulate to a seller into that direct marketing campaign. And on top of it, we can layer in the social media presence that we have. So between this marketing wheel, essentially, and this flow chart from initial consultation all the way to post sale, if there's one thing that you can do, really just exhaustively familiarize yourself with this piece. Everything else is supplementary. Literally everything else is supplementary. And if you can walk in with these two bits, a front and back page, give them this and show them and articulate the value of you as a person and you as an agent, there is, I cannot stress this. I know this sounds hyperbolic, but there's no reason why we can't win 90% of the listings that we go on. 90%. And I know that that's high, but I really truly believe in this, that what we've got to provide, if we understand it now, yes, exactly. It's about speed and efficiency. It's about making it understandable, right? That's why I'm saying these two pages, and that's that. Nail these two pages. Anything else is whipped cream and cherries, other sundae toppings, right? But you got to understand it, because understanding of the content, being able to say, like, for example, back to the wheel, being able to go all the way around the wheel as it starts at the top at MLS and goes in deeper and deeper and deeper by layering on top of that and being able to have that conversation, that's really where you can set yourself apart in a listing presentation. And it is all about speed and efficiency. Right now, you know, you could have a 45-minute conversation with a seller about, that's so great, you know, I got a cat, you got a cat too, that's really super, that's awesome, you got purple drapes, I got purple drapes too, that's great, you know, you got this, and you can be emotionally attached. Like I said, you can still get out commissioned, you can get out priced, you can get out marketed. But if you understand what's in that material for the listing presentation, and actually understand what our technology does, you ain't gonna get outsold, you're not gonna get outpriced, you're not gonna get out commissioned, and you're not gonna get out marketed, because you're gonna know that there is literally everything under the sun at your fingertips in terms of marketing and selling a home. It's all about speed and efficiency. People are getting, you know, sometimes 5-6 people to be interviewed for listing their house. Well, darn it, the one that really gets to the heart of the issue, really 3 things for a seller. It's about meeting their needs, answering their questions, and selling their home. If you can articulate how you can meet their needs, answer the questions that they've got, and sell their home, there's really nothing else left to the imagination, is there? It's not all this gobbledygook and trying to show this thing, that thing, counting around words and AdWorks and blah, 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 blah. I mean, people don't get that. They can't get it. It's, I'm here to meet your needs, answer your questions, and sell your house. And here's how I'm gonna do it better, quicker, and more efficient than everybody else in the industry. It's about authenticity. Distilling all that down, it's, you know, really the listing presentation process is really about confidence. It's about confidence that you can actually solve a problem for a seller. And to be consistent, to be simple, allows you to be authentic. It allows you to tailor the one piece really from the company that shows here's how the company goes. It allows you to layer on authentically you, how you can sell the house, how you work differently, how you are different than the competition. It allows you to be authentic. And it also gives you the wiggle room to create your unique value proposition. One of those pieces on the wheel might not be your thing. You're not a, let's just pick one out of thin air, and you guys are going to be surprised when I say this. You're not a social media person, or you're not a digital thing. Well, maybe that's not your deal, but what you do know is that you've got the company value behind you to supplement what your big deal is. Maybe your big deal is your existing social network. Maybe your big deal is your campaign for open houses. Maybe your big deal is your massive direct mailing push, whatever your thing is. It allows you to have your thing, but also know that the company brings along with you all the other stuff that you might not be quite so good at. It gives you the permission to be you and to be good at what you're good at. And the first thing that I want you to really identify is to define what your belief of what a home selling proposal actually is. And I know that that seems kind of like a hokey question or a hokey thing to even say, but really, why are you there in the first place? And if you know why you're there in the first place, which is what I already talked about, meet the needs of the seller, which you got to figure out what those needs actually are. If you haven't and you're already in the kitchen table or on a Zoom call or whatever it might be, well, maybe we need to reassess why we're not qualifying everybody on the front end first. But meet the needs, answer their questions, really help it, really honestly at the home selling proposal stage, help the seller understand how you can answer their questions through action, not through words, and then ultimately get the home sold. If you want to be really simple, you're just solving the seller's problem. What is the problem? You can't solve every problem, but if you're there and you can solve the problem, there's no reason why we can't win the listing. And a lot of it is motivation, right? Motivation versus impulse. There's a lot of people that, you got somebody that says, okay, yeah, absolutely, I'll meet you. Great. Your impulse is saying, I've got an opportunity for a listing. And so then you run over there without a whole lot of legwork and understanding in what their actual issue is, not uncovering the motivation prior to. So then you're acting on impulse. I get it. That's how our business runs. But being simple, having just a couple of key pieces and knowing them up and down allows you to really focus on a seller's motivation versus acting on your own impulse. A listing presentation is a confidence thing, I'm telling you, but it's also not about an ego thing. It's not running in there thinking, haha, I'm hot stuff. And ultimately you get out-commissioned, out-priced, or out-marketed. If you focus on the right things, you won't get that. And think to yourself right now, honestly, the sellers now more than ever, they're asking the same 5 questions. They really are. Really think to yourself that they're talking about timing, pricing, marketing, you as a person, why use a real estate agent in the first place, and then they're going to everybody's favorite thing, commission. That's what they're asking. They're asking questions about, I don't know, is this the right time? I don't know, is this the right price? I don't really know how I should market. I don't know how to market my house right now. I don't really know if you're the right person. Why do you charge 6%? It's all the same questions. And really understanding, going in there from the get-go with the understanding that I've already got the answers to these 5 questions. Let me figure out what the other stuff is that's in the way. Let's go ahead and get this stuff out of the way right now. Why the timing is right, why the marketing plan is on point, why this price. Well, it's because I'm not going to feed you a line of junk. I'm going to give you the real deal about what's selling, what's not, what's happening in our marketplace right now. I'm going to show you why me. And then I'm going to, by that virtue, that final question, the commission question, is not a question. It's a, and as a result of all of these things that I do, I charge a fee. And then you move on. And again, it is not a 100% game. But if you can focus on these pieces, going right back to the 2 focal point slides of the 2020 home selling proposal package, if you can focus on those and you can own those, it's not a 100% game, and you know that you never win 100% of the listing presentations that you go on, but this is pretty darn close. And if you have an assistant like this, then you can really go a long way of really winning it at the end. Get out of here, you rascal. Yeah, you're a rascal. No, you're a rascal. So, with that being said, are there any questions that we got going on here? I'm pretty proud of myself. I got it right dead on 30 minutes. So, anything, Beth, Ashley, Tracy, JD? Okay, I'm gonna have the recording posted here just shortly. Jennifer, I hope you survived the ASC meeting. Judging by your facial expression, barely. All right, perfect. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Give me a call if you need me. Bye.